So one of the things about aviation is that there is very little representation. You will find that I believe that there are about 6% female pilots in the USA. I believe the numbers are almost the same in Canada. There are no figures that I'm aware of for black female pilots, but they are still very few. Like, when you do see a black pilot, a black female pilot, it catches your attention because we don't see them all the time. However, for the cabin crew jobs, at the airport check-in stuff, it's normal to see women and to see black women and black people at the check-in counter or security or flight attendants. But the higher that you go, the representation and the numbers dwindle very, very quickly. In the C-suite and airlines, very few representation of black women or women in general, or black people. So that has been like the definition of my career, because it's sort of like you have a ceiling. You can go this far, but you cannot go further. You could have the skills to go further. And quite a lot of times you're working with people that are less experienced than you, less knowledgeable than you. You probably have more education, have done more courses. Aviation is about courses and training and licenses. But you will find that for a woman to get that job, they need to tick all those boxes. For a black woman to get a job, they need to tick like so many boxes, whereas you'll find that the men just get promoted along the way. And I don't think that I deserved, or people or women or black women deserve to be pushed just because of their color. But I actually often feel that we work harder and we perform better, but we are judged more stringently. So that's been the story of my career, really. I felt that I could have done more, and I had to change jobs, move countries, do so much just to change my situation, because I found myself stuck on the hangar floor for a long time as a mechanic, and I just couldn't get a job outside of the hangar floor. I mean, they were quite happy to let me, work on planes and fix planes, but anything further than that, even though I had a master's degree, it was pretty hard to break through that ceiling, that even though I had the education, the qualifications, the licenses, and the experience, it was still hard to get to the next level. So that's been my experience as a black woman, that the room and growth in the industry is very slow and very, very stunted. For me, black excellence is a lot more than just black people excelling and black people doing great things. It's often the small things that are overlooked, the things that society thinks are normal. A young black boy buying a house, a young black girl going to university, being the first person in her family to go to university. I'm always encouraged by these stories on LinkedIn about people who've, against all odds, done great things, going to university and graduating and sticking through and just being there and showing up every day until they graduate. So for me, black excellence is about rising up against the odds, because for the most part, the odds are often stacked against us. But it's not looking at the odds, it's rising above them, keeping our heads up high and doing what we need to get on. And that's what most Black people do, and that's Black excellence. And how I live it in my life is I wake up every day, I show up, I do what I need to do, even when it's painful. I try to keep the right attitude and do the right thing, and persevering, having courage, finding strength to do what I need to, and giving back to my society. And for me, that's Black excellence, raising the next generation of excellent Black people. I've been researching Black aviation pioneers during Black History Month, and I realized that the first pilots and flight attendants to work for major American airlines had to go to the Supreme Court to be able to be given positions. The one guy, Marlon Green, was recruited as a pilot. He didn't tick a box which mentioned his race. He got the job, and when he arrived for the job, they made up a story that he couldn't get a job because they noticed that he was Black. So this has happened in the last 50 to 60 years. Yesterday I was on a call and in attendance were two ladies who were the first Black flight attendants for major US airlines. And this has all happened in the last 50 to 60 years. And we can see the acceleration that's happened because today, while race is still a big problem, you don't have to go to the Supreme Court to get a job. So we've made quite a lot of progress, and I believe that the Black Lives Movement is going to make a dent, and I am excited because the movement has got quite a lot of allies. I was on a call a few weeks ago, and in attendance again was a young lady. She's a white Caucasian lady from New Zealand, and she was expressing how disgusted she is by racism and how her peers are disgusted by racism and how they are part of the Black Lives Movement and are doing what they can in order to make a difference. So things like this give me hope. I know that in 10 years' time things will be different. Certain behaviors won't be acceptable, and things are going to change, and we need to keep pressing. And I'm grateful for the allies who are helping and walking with us, because we can't do this by ourselves. And I would like to see things really different in the next 10 years. What I know for sure is the kids who are born today, they're going to have a different life. When they get into the workforce, things will be different. And I'm pretty positive of that.